Welcome to today's Futoshiki Puzzle. We're going to start off with a 4x4 puzzle where we've got to fill in all four of these boxes with numbers from 1 to 4. The whole purpose of this puzzle is to identify which one is which, and within each of these arrows we can see that this number here has to be greater than this one here. Okay, so that's how we're going to actually try and solve this. So if we look at this number 2 and this number 1 here, what we know is this number that we've got highlighted cannot be a 1 or a 2, so it must be a 3 and a 4. Okay, 3 or a 4, sorry. So here, because it has to be bigger than this one as well, we could say, well, it could currently be either a 3 or a 4. Okay, so we're just going to put that in at the moment. Now this number here has to be smaller, therefore what we can say, so smaller than this one here, so we can say this can either be a 1, can't be a 2 because we've already got the 2, a 3, but it can't be a 4 here. Okay, however, what we also know is this cannot be a 1, okay, because it must be bigger than this box here. Therefore we know this must be a 3 instead. Okay, so that would make this box here on the left a 4 because it can no longer be the 3 anymore. Now, if we look at this box here, we know this number has to be less than a 3, but it can't be the 1 because the 1 is already filled in. So that would leave it as a 2 here. Okay, and we've only got one number left in this row here, so we can say this is going to be a 1. Now, within this, we can say for this next number, I think this is where we're going next, this number cannot be a 1 because of the number 1 already filled in. So we can say this is going to be a 2 or a 3. Cannot be a 4 because this number is bigger than it. So this here would have to be a 3 or a 4. Now let's move on to the next part that we know. So here, these two numbers we can fill in because we've got the 1 and the 4 already, and this one has to be this one, bigger than this one. So we're left with a 2 and a 3, so this one must be the 3, the bigger number, and this one must be the 2. Now, by process of elimination, if we've taken out the 2 here, we can no longer have it here, which means this must be the 3, and this one next to it must be the 4. And from this point on, there are no other greater than boxes, so we can just fill in, hopefully, the rest of it. We've got a 2, 3, and a 4, so this one here must be the 1. We now have a 1, 2, 3, so this one's a 4. Now, what's left in this one here, we've got a 1, 2 is in, and a 3, so we need to put in a 1 and a 3. 3 is in the top row, so we put the 3 here and the 1 here. And then finally, it's just a case of filling in this number, which is a 2, and this one a 4. Perfect. So that was the slightly easier one. Time to move on to the second one. If you're liking the video so far, please consider smashing the like button and subscribing for more. This one, our numbers, exactly the same process, but the numbers are going from 1 up to 5. So we can start off, let's just have a look through. Let's start off with this number here. So we know that this number has to be greater than the number 3 next to it. So we could say this is either a 4 or a 5. Let's see what else we could say. Well, I've just spotted something here. So we've got the 1 at the top. So this one here, this box, cannot be a 1. Okay, so what's left in this is a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, or 5. So if this one has to be greater than this one, we know that this one here can't be the 1. This one here can't be the 1. So the last box that's left, which is this one, must be the 1. Okay, because the 1 is already at the top, so we can't have it there. So the numbers left here, we could say this is either a 5 or a 4. This here would have to be then either the 4 or the 2, except we can't have a 2 here, and we can't have a 2 here, therefore this one here is our 2. Okay, and that's most from that bottom row. We've just got 4s and 5s left. Right, so moving up here, so we've got a 1 in this column and a 2. So we know we've got to have a 3, 4, and a 5. Now this pattern, when we've got 3 boxes here next to each other, basically tells us that this number is bigger than this number, and then is bigger than this number here. So if we know that we've only got 5, 4, and 3 in this column, the 3 must go here. Because if this was a 4 or 5, we wouldn't have two numbers that are bigger than the 3. Okay, so what's left within this? We've got a 1, 2, 3. Therefore, we've got 4 and 5. This number's bigger, therefore this is the 5 and this is the 4. Okay, so we also know that this must be the 4 and this must be the 5 because of the thing we mentioned before. This here, and this here. This one is bigger, then this one, and then this one. So let's see where we can go next, I would think. So we've got only 2 numbers left here. There's already the 3 that's in this row here. So this one must be the 3 and this one must be the 2 that's left. Okay, let's see where else we can go with this. So we've got these 2 numbers here. One must be a 1, one must be a 4. Not quite sure which yet, so we'll just leave them in. And then we can look up, let's see, we've got this box here and here, and these here and here that have got values in. So let's try and identify something from those. Let's go for this top one because, well, actually we know because we've got 2 3s already in, this one over here must be the 3 because neither of those 2 could be a 3. So we're left with a 2 and a 4. The 4 is greater than the 2, so we can write it this way around. Now this is going to tell us a bit of information because that would mean this one here can no longer be the 4, so it can only be the 1. This one here is our 4 because the 1 has just been used. This one here is the 5, and this one here is the 4. So from that we can now look back up and see what else we have got left. So this here, again, the final one of these left, we can say we've got a 1, a 2 or a 5 throughout this. Okay, this one can't be the 1 and it definitely can't be the 5. Okay, so we've got the 1 here and 5 obviously would have to have a number bigger than it, but it doesn't. So this here would be our 2. The only number left that's bigger is the 5 and this one is our 1. And then we're filling in the final boxes here. This is going to be the 2 because we've got 1, 3, 4 and 5. This one here is going to be the 5 and this one here is a 1. Perfect. Right, finish that one. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed and see you next time.